Conwy Coast Guard. Say again your name, over.
Conwy Coast Guard. But we're on our way for the bank holiday weekend at the end of August, and we're hoping to meet a couple of other boats from Preston Marina who went down there a couple of days ago. And we hope
London, this is Conwy Coast Guard. Right, go channel 73, over.
I hope we're going to meet them and all come back together as a bit of a flotilla. So that's what the mission is. We're going to Conwy now. We've got a berth booked at Conwy Marina tonight. So we'll be making the entrance, the approach to Conwy just as night is falling, which will be fun. And I'll show you our route in a little while. But we're now just getting towards Lytham, doing 11 knots now, and all is well.
Our route took us out of Preston Marina, down the River Ribble, across Liverpool Bay, round Great Orme and into Conwy, about 56 nautical miles. It was calm conditions all the way, which is unusual not just for a bank holiday, but pretty unusual for the Irish Sea as well.
It is 20 to 8. We've been underway for about 6.5 hours, and we are just coming up on the Conwy River's landfall buoy to make our approach up the Conwy River towards Conwy Marina. It's about 4 and a bit hours before high water, so the flood is really starting now, so we'll have a fair amount of water coming in with us, but that should be okay, and going against it. So you're joining a gorgeous sunset, and we're well into our approach, and so far our calculations have been around right, because if you can see on the avionics, we're just coming out, well, we've just been over this sandbank here, which was submerging, which at low water would be dry, but we thought we would arrive with about 2 meters or just over 2 meters of tide, and that's what we've had. We haven't seen less than 2 meters on the depth finder, so far so good, but we're not there yet. But look at that sunset, absolutely beautiful.
After a good night's sleep on board at Conwy Marina, we take a stroll the next morning along the riverside path into Conwy itself in search of a bit of history, but more importantly, some breakfast and a good cup of coffee. Chris is a coffee connoisseur, so standards had to be high.
Cautiously optimistic. Are we happy? Fantastic.
When the next high tide came around that afternoon, we're on our way again, out of Conwy Marina and around Puffin Island at the northern end of the Menai Straits, then into the straits themselves and down to Gallows Point at Beaumaris, about 12 nautical miles.
So, it's what is it? It's Sunday evening, and we're now on a mooring just off Gallows Point at Beaumaris. Beaumaris is behind us, and we're going to go ashore to the Northwest Venturers Yacht Club, of which, would you believe, I am a member, but I've never been. So this is achieving something I've been meaning to do for a long time, a few years now. There's nobody there, unfortunately, but we have got the code to the toilet, so at least we might be able to use the club facilities. So yeah, we're just getting the dinghy ready. Going ashore and to and from in tenders is one of the more hazardous aspects of boating, and we're not taking things lightly, and we've checked our dinghy is good and well inflated and secured properly with ropes, and Chris came up with a brilliant way of getting the outboard in position using the davits there as a crane, which seems obvious, but I'd never thought of it, but it worked a treat. We have got our PLB, personal locator beacon, on a life jacket. Chris has also got, clipped to his life jacket, a DSC radio. Needless to say, we are wearing our life jackets, and we've only got to do about 20 yards across to that beach, but nevertheless we're taking it quite seriously, because this is, as I say, many accidents are caused at this phase. So anyway, hopefully we've taken things into account and we should be good. Right, off we go. In the bow rider.
We had such a lovely evening in Beaumaris that we forgot to do any filming, so sorry about that. We just had fish and chips on a bench overlooking the water. So in the meantime, here's some pretty pictures of Island Lady in the sunset as we came back to the boat in the dinghy. In order to get back to Preston Marina for that afternoon's high tide at about 1 p.m, we needed to leave the Menai Straits at about 5 a.m, but we were treated to a flat calm and gloriously starlit early morning. Heading back across Liverpool Bay, the wind had picked up a little bit and there were now a few waves for our return journey, but nothing that Island Lady can't handle in her stride. A few hours later, and we're back in the River Ribble with the flood tide racing in. We'd covered about 136 nautical miles before finally catching up with the other two boats that had departed Preston Marina a couple of days before us, and we all returned home together back on our marina berths.